Victor Valdepeñas has made his debut for Real Madrid, and it was clearly an impressive one because we are making a full-blown video about him. He's a Castilla player who got an opportunity to play for the first team of Real Madrid, and he is the first academy player for Real Madrid to start under Xabi Alonso. Well, technically some people will say it's Gonzalo Garcia, but he doesn't truly count because he is a part of the first team. And Thiago Pitarch, who did play against Tyrol, he played in a preseason game, so it does not truly count. So this makes Valdepeñas the first Real Madrid academy player to play under Xabi Alonso. Something that I'm truly shocked about because we expected Xabi to be playing academy players, to be playing the youngsters. But it turns out he has been playing the youngsters, but the ones who are already registered in the first team. But now he has finally done it because of the injuries to Ferland Mendy, Alvaro Carreras, and Fran Garcia, all three of the left backs. We can even add Camavinga because if Camavinga was fit, he would have played left back, and he's also injured. And then Xabi Alonso decided to make a brave move, a bold move, and play Victor Valdepeñas, 18 years of age, to play him against Alaves in his first start for the first team. And I'm telling you, if you watched Real Madrid for the first time in this game, if you've never watched Real Madrid before, you wouldn't even tell that he's an academy player because he played like he's been playing with the team. He's confident on the ball, making slick passes, slick runs, connecting well with the team. Can I say something crazy? I low-key think he would be a better option as a backup for Carreras than Fran Garcia or Ferland Mendy. Now the reason why I say that is not because I think he's a higher quality than them. I think obviously Ferland Mendy is better than him. Fran Garcia is also better than him, but he has more potential than them. And overall, when I say being the second choice, I also mean that Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy should not be second choice fullbacks. They should in fact leave the club so that this young talent can be our backup. So how did he play against Alaves? Well, we said he was confident on the ball, something that academy players don't usually have, because usually academy players are nervous, they're a bit safe on the ball, they don't take too much risks. But I think these new gents, these new up-and-coming Castilla players are not the same as the previous ones. These ones of today are ready for the first team. Because you wouldn't even say it was his debut, that's how good he was playing. And in the first half, he was still getting into the game. But even in the first half, he made good tackles, good passing. It wasn't the best performance in the first half, but it was a warm-up. Second half, this guy played with full confidence. He was moving around, taking risks, making runs, and gelling so nicely with Vinny and the rest of the squad. And by the way, I said Carreras was injured. I completely forgot. He was sent off, he's not injured. But either way, moving on from that, this player is no Alvaro Carreras. Carreras will obviously still be the main left back of the team. But I mean, he has some competition. And listen, Real Madrid have a lot of centre backs injured. We have Dienhausen who returned. That is a good thing. But further on, this guy, Valdepeñas, reminds me of a previous, well not even a previous because he's still in the Castilla, Thiago Aguado. It reminds me of Thiago Aguado. But Thiago Aguado, remember with what I said about Castilla players not playing super confident? I will say Thiago Aguado, let's be honest, he didn't play very confident in his debut. He was making mistakes. But he is still a good talent. And he wasn't terrible in that game. Now one similarity that Valdepeñas and Thiago Aguado have is they both can play left back and centre back. They are hybrids. They can play both positions. And this is something that I see in Valdepeñas. I will even say maybe he can be a good option at centre back. And what I mean by that is, you know Xabi Alonso plays 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. If Carreras is playing and let's just say we have some injuries in the centre-back position, Valdepeñas can be in a back three, on the left side of a back three. Because look at this performance, some people will even say he's more comfortable in the centre-back position, or he's more bold for the centre-back position. Now I won't truly say that. I do think he's also valuable at left back, especially with his forward runs. So when it comes to this player, my final verdict is they have to keep him as a second choice, Fran Garcia and Mendy. And also, I think this also proves that the Castilla is underrated, because Real Madrid have a lot of good Castilla players locked up in the academy, like Johan Martinez, Thiago Pitarch. These are players that no doubt if they move to another club, they are gonna perform in another club. And also with Copa del Rey taking place, if Real Madrid can survive this stage, because they never survive, well, I'm not gonna say never, but they rarely survive the early stages of Copa del Rey, this is the perfect time to play Victor Valdepeñas, play him at left back or centre back. But further on, we move on from him and we move on to the next player. I'm going to speak about another academy player, Thiago Pitarch. To me, if you guys want to complain about the midfield, saying that we don't have a deep line playmaker, then no doubt, Pitarch is that kind of player. And considering how impressive he was for the Castilla in the Spain under-20s and in an undercover match for Real Madrid, I'm surprised he has still not played this season for Real Madrid. He played against Tyrol, he was decent, but that was not enough minutes. And with the reports coming out of Xabi Alonso, the reports are saying his job is in danger, he's in danger of the sack. And if that is the case, do you guys think he should take either one of these two options? He should take a risk, play some academy players, do some formations that you have not tried, or should he instead play it safe, play the same squad he's been playing for the entire season, and the same squad that has been underperforming? That is something I want to hear of you guys in the comments. What option do you think Xabi should take? But overall, let's talk about some things that happened in the Alaves match. I did not make a review on the match, but let's do a quick recap on it. Let's talk about Rodrigo. So Rodrigo is in scoring form, he's in good form, and I'm glad for him, truly glad for him, because he was benched earlier this season, undeservingly, and now it seems like right wing Rodrigo might be the way. It has always kind of been the way. I might even argue, in all the performances he played left wing for Real Madrid this season, it hasn't been as good as the way he played against City at right wing, and the way he played against Alaves also at right wing. And you know, the thing I like about Rodrigo is he was being benched for this entire season by Xabi. When he scored against City, he went straight to go and impress Xabi. That is like a different type of class. You backing a manager that has been benching you so much. Like it's truly crazy. That should go in the top 10 respect moments in football. Let's also talk about another stellar performance, Jude Bellingham's performance against Alaves. Just a full-blown masterclass, a full-blown good performance. He assisted Mbappe's goal, and also brilliant tackles, good passes, good runs. This guy might be the best midfielder in the world, or maybe not best midfielder, but most complete midfielder. Then we move on to Vinny Jr. With Vinny Jr.'s performance, I would say in the beginning of this match, he was playing slow, wasn't really getting into the game. But then when he assisted Rodrigo's goal, that was a good example of how Vinny can play bad for the entire match. You give him one opportunity, and then he produces quality like this, beats the defenders, and then puts in a Travella pass to Rodrigo. That's the thing about Vinny. That's why, to me, Vinny's kind of unbenchable. And the last thing I want to speak about is the reports that Fabrizio Romano put out, and he said if Xabi Alonso is to hypothetically get sacked, Real Madrid have Arbeloa lined up, and I think he's a perfect option. He's been coaching the Castilla and the lower ranks of the academy. I think he could be a perfect replacement, but let's just see what happens. I'm not yet on a Xabi out thing. I still want to see where this goes, but if they are to sack him, Arbeloa is a good choice. But that is my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I will be reading, will be responding. But if you enjoyed, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Peace out.